Hey guys, welcome back to another video right here in the Creative Color mini-series. Today what we're going to be doing is looking at the overview of a website, Adobe Color. Now this is not a sponsored video. I'm not sponsored by Adobe. Would be nice, but I'm not. However, this is a really cool tool if you are not familiar with color theory, or if you're just trying to get out of the creative rut and figure out what colors do you really want to work with. So hopefully you find value in that. Now, if you have found value in this series, then please, smash the like button, leave comments. It just helps the algorithm in YouTube share this with other people. And it also sends me a clear message that the content I'm creating here on the channel is value added. Now, I do want to apologize for the inconsistency from this last week, but life happens and I'm very committed to getting the series completed. It just didn't happen the way that I scheduled, so I do apologize for that. Nonetheless, we're going to keep on pushing through, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the live stream on July 31st, which is this Saturday. We're going to be going over putting all of this stuff together in one, final master class, so to speak. And I'll answer any of your questions that you may have had because, we haven't had a live stream in about a month now. So I just want to make sure that I reach out and, stay connected with the viewers and subscribers of this channel. I really do appreciate your support. So let's dive into the video. So here we are at the Adobe Color website. Now, I want to explain why you would use a website like this. And one of the things, in this series, we talked about creative color editing, things like that inside of ON1 Photo Raw. Well, if you are not a colorist or don't have any idea about color theory, then this website, free to use. Also, I'm not sponsored by Adobe. So this is just a completely, I guess, advantageous plug of a piece of software or a website that works. That's all I'm doing. Just sharing some tools that I use. Now, if you are not familiar with color theory, which I'm not a genius on it, this website really helps with seeing the colors that you really want. And, it kind of takes away some of the, the scientific process out of it and just allows you to explore and mess around with some of the colors. Now, I'll go ahead and do a brief overview of this website. So check the description box below. You'll see color.adobe.com, create/color wheel, all that good stuff, right? The first tab that you come up to is going to be the color wheel tab. We'll go to the extract theme tab later today. I'm not going to get into the extract gradient or the accessibility tools. Now, if you happen to have a subscription to Adobe Creative Cloud, then you can sign in, or you can just create a free Adobe account if you want to save some of these color schemes that you will be making here. And the save button is right there, by the way. Now, I don't think that you need to have that. That's completely up to you, and I'll show you how to save the colors that you really like inside of the swatches internal to ON1 Photo Raw. So just stay tuned for that piece. But coming down the left hand side here, we have a few different color harmony rules. I like to think of these as the mode in which the colors interact across the color wheel. Now, if you have ON1 Photo Raw on the Apple machine, the Apple machine, that's a weird way of saying that. But if you do have that, then this color wheel looks very familiar. If not, then it's fine. On the Windows machine, you get the color spectrum, which it's a color wheel. It's just vertical. It's not round. That's all it is. That's the only difference, all right? So you don't have to concern yourself with that. But if you click through these different modes, as you can see, it changes the swatches down here, but look at the interaction that happens in the color wheel. Now, this is where my color theory really does run thin, so to speak, or whatever. But you can see how all of the colors are jumping around on the wheel, and it's giving you a swatch that's down here. Now, when I work with this particular color wheel, I like to work in either monochromatic, triad, or complementary. These are just the three that I like to use. You can use any one of these, it doesn't really matter. But I really like monochromatic. I don't want to make anything green, but if I want to make something that has shades of blue, and this really comes in handy when you're trying to do maybe you're toning a black and white image and you want to, keep the tones similar. So maybe a dark blue or a darker blue in comparison to these 5 colors, a darker version of that blue in the shadows, and then a brighter version or a lighter version of that blue in the highlights. Now, I want you to take note that below each of these colors, there is a little symbol, a code. It's called a hex code. I'll show you where to plug that in inside of ON1 shortly. But this is where you get the color, and you plug that into ON1, hit enter, and it'll jump to this exact color, which is really cool because you don't have to really guess. All you have to do is mess around until you get a color that you like. So maybe that was just, not enough, and now this is starting to become more of a royal blue. And you can just mess around with this until you get something that you like. Now, pay attention to this little, triangle or arrow. This is the base color in which everything is being adjusted left and right from, okay? Using the color harmony rule, whatever color is here, this is what I'm moving around. This is changing, and everything else is changing in relationship to this one. So let's say you find a color like maybe I really like this blue right here. I click that. Now everything around it is going to change based off of that color. Now, if you like a color and you don't want to lose that, I recommend you take this hex code, put that into ON1, how I'm going to show you later on today, and you'll be able to save that color. Now, you can move around some of these other colors, right? Because monochromatic means that they're all on the same line. You have access to move each one of these colors independent of one another. Now, I don't recommend you doing that, but you can, and I just wanted to show you that you could do that. Okay. Now, I'm also in the color mode of RGB. I recommend you stay here because the other one is CMYK, but for like 100% of this color series that we've been doing, everything has been done with the RGB. So I don't think there's any reason to explore beyond that. You absolutely can, but I don't think you need to. So this is the color wheel tab of the Adobe Color website. The next thing that I want to show you is how to extract colors from an image. And this is actually extremely helpful because if you see an image and you're like, man, I really love the colors in that image, I would like to get those colors. Well, you can click on extract theme. It's going to bring you to a page that looks similar to this. If you already have been adding photos to the extract theme and you're just going back and forth, you're going to see an image here. But if you click on replace image, then that should clear that problem up for you. And you'll be able to select a new image. But we're going to go ahead and drop in this image, which has a lot of colors inside of it, right? There's some oranges, some yellows, some blues, some pinks and purples. And we can see that in the hex code or in the swatches down here. And then we also have all of these hex codes. Now, over here on the left-hand side, we have the extract using color mode. Now, this one is obviously colorful, so it's looking for a wide variety of colors that are targeted somewhere between, whatever the algorithm is to make that separation distinction. Now, you can move these around, I personally would not for this image because I like the way that looks, that yellow, and it's really hard to get that back. I guess I kind of got it back, but you get the point there. Now you can click on bright, and I really do encourage you to explore this website for yourselves. But as you can see, by moving through each one of these modes, I'm going to get something different, and they are pretty self-explanatory, right? The muted, we've talked about muting colors throughout the series, so I don't think this is going to surprise you. And then if you want something that's a little bit more bright, or if you want something that's a little bit more colorful spread across, this is like a deeper color palette, and then this is a really dark color palette. It's looking for the darkest colors in the image, and it's going to give those to you. Now, how do you add this into ON1 Photo Raw? Well, let's go back to colorful, and I like this yellow, so I'm going to click the double square icons here. Okay, it's going to copy it to my clipboard. And now I can come back to ON1 Photo Raw, and there are a handful of filters that allow you to add color. The first one is the bleach bypass, which is right here. Second one is going to be the photo filter. Third one, and this one is really to for the ON1 2021 users and hopefully beyond, is the replace color. The next one is going to be split tone, and then you can add color inside of textures, and then the very last one is actually in the local adjustments over here. So the place that I really enjoy adding in a I guess a custom color is in the split tone. If you guys haven't noticed, this is my favorite color adjustment tool. If there was one tool that I can choose, it would be it. But all you have to do is click on the highlights, and you may be presented with a color wheel if you are on a Apple computer. Now, if you're on a Windows computer, you're going to be presented with the color spectrum, and then you're going to see like these swatches, and it'll make sense. But what you're going to do if you're on an Apple computer is you're going to come back to your RGB sliders, and then you see where it says hex color number. Well, since I already have that copied to my clipboard, I'm just going to click in there. I'm going to use a keyboard shortcut of Command and V, and then I will hit enter, and it jumps to that yellow color. And one, you know, no real intention, but it makes this photo instantly look like it was shot, you know, at a sunrise, where the sun is just, you know, really nice and beaming. So this is before without it, pretty blue, and then this is it after. It has that yellow vibe to it. Now, if you are on a Windows computer, you'll see the hex code. It'll be right underneath the spectrum. So you do the same thing, copy and paste. So let's say I really enjoy this color and I want to keep it. Well, you have your swatches over here. All you have to do is click and drag and then drop it over there. And now I have this saved in my swatch for as long as I want it there. Okay. So if there's another image where I'm like, you know, that yellow that I used on this particular image would really look good on another image. So then you just have to open up your swatch, click on it, and add it. This is also extremely handy if you are doing a series of photos where you're shooting this all at the same time, but maybe you have a close-up of these rocks, or maybe a wider version of this image, whatever. You can, one, synchronize your edits, or two, maybe you just want to do it manually and adjust it. Then you can just click in here and drop that over your image. All right, so there you go. Adobe Color website, completely free for you to use. Don't have to make an account if you didn't want to, But hopefully you guys found some value. If you did, please smash the like button. If you're new here, my name's Chris. I create content centered around ON1 Photo Raw, and I do plan to make more videos about different topics internal to Photo Raw, and then also showing some things in Affinity Photo. Just haven't got around to that yet, but I will get to it. If that's something you're interested in, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to check the bell icon, because for whatever reason, subscribing doesn't always ensure that the videos pop up in your browse feed. So until next time, I want you guys to stay inspired and keep creating. Peace.